Thank you very much for those fantastic, excellent remarks, Mark. I think you've really set the scene for our meeting this week. It's so valuable for us to understand the critical role that FDA continues to play, those changing priorities, rapidly changing priorities. And I think that last final theme on collaboration absolutely is what ILSI is really designed to try to do. So thank you very, very much. My name is Kerr Dow, formerly a research and development leader with Cargill, but today here supporting ILSI as co-chair for this next session. The person who was the driving force behind this session is Steve Hermansky from FDA. Unfortunately, Steve is unable to be here today, and he sends his apologies. It was due to a completely unexpected conflict caused by a last-minute change in a planned medical procedure, of all things. You know, those medical things get in the way sometimes. And he sends his heartfelt regrets, plans to participate as much as possible remotely over the next couple of days, but unfortunately can't be here this morning. So it's my privilege to stand in for him today and introduce this morning's session on the accuracy and credibility in the use of chemicals in international food markets. You know, as a result of the efforts of scientists, food producers, and regulators like the FDA, over many decades, the US is considered to have one of the safest food supply systems in the world. However, in spite of this track record, we face many challenges about the perceptions of safety of the US food supply. All of us in the food safety system have a responsibility to help address this, but why is it so difficult? As we know, the food system is complex. There are many different ingredients and additives in food, some not well understood, creates the potential for confusion and concern. And this is illustrated, for example, by IFIC's annual consumer perception surveys that routinely have shown over the past decade that safety of ingredients is a major concern for consumers. In addition, differences and similarities in international standards and regulations are complex. They're sometimes mischaracterized and they're often misunderstood, which only adds to consumer confusion. Food is also a unique commodity. It's personal, it elicits a lot of emotion, and people make decisions on what to eat based on many factors. This includes a tsunami of information from social media or other sources that may or may not always be accurate. So it's perhaps not surprising that facts can get lost in a swirl of overinformation today. So we have a responsibility to bring accurate, understandable information to consumers, help them make informed choices on selection of nutritious and safe food. So how do we achieve this and avoid making consumers even more confused? This session this morning brings together a group of expert communicators on the front lines of these issues to discuss and debate the approaches to communicating effectively on these topics. I hope we will have the opportunity today to learn from these experts, challenge ourselves to think differently maybe, and to look for some common ground on this important topic. We will take questions after all four speakers have finished presenting. As a reminder, as Stefan mentioned, you can find the speakers' full bios in the meeting materials and scan the QR code that you see on the screen. I would now like to welcome our first speaker, Christy Muldoon-Jacobs, Director of the FDA's Office of Pre-Market Additive Safety within the Human Foods Program at the FDA. Christy will set the scene today by talking about the regulatory system in the US and providing us with some thoughts on the similarities and differences between international food regulations. So